All right, welcome back to the Dr. Dahlia Show. So, 4th of July is coming, and some of you are going to be singing the national anthem. Family wants you to sing it. There's going to be fireworks, barbecue, and some of you maybe just have always wanted to sing it, but you've been too nervous about singing it. And I want to give you guys some tips. If you are not the Whitney Houston, the Jordan Sparks, the Christina Aguilera, the Beyonce, you could still sing the national anthem. It's not going to be as good because they really crushed the national anthem. But it's a beautiful song. It's an anthem, one of the most difficult to sing. And I think fewer people sing it because they're intimidated about them being able to sing the song. And so I got some tips for those of us that don't have killer voices on how to get through the Star-Spangled Banner and do it in one piece. So rule number 1, don't try to sound like Whitney Houston or Beyonce or Jordan Sparks. Not going to happen. And nobody's expecting you to. Nobody's expecting if you get up there, well, at the game, at your kid's game, at the barbecue at church, nobody's expecting you to be able to knock it out of the park like they do. So already get that off your shoulders. It's okay. Number 2, and I've given you guys tips before, is, start low. There is a lot you need to do when you get to the high notes. And the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air. You want to make sure that you are at the stronger part of your range. And so a big mistake people do is they start too high with the, oh, say, can you see? Well, by the time you get to the high notes, you're screwed. So start low. Keep in mind, you might not hit those low notes very well, but if you feel like you're going to preserve the range, it's worth the sacrifice. Now, again, I'm not teaching people who could sing. These are for those of us who can't sing. So if you are going to sing the Star-Spangled Banner, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? I know it's low. It doesn't sound that good, but at least it preserves your range for later on. And it's amazing how much you practice. You could get lower notes. Let's try lower. Oh, say, can you see? You could whisper it. Sounds a little sexy, a little raspy. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Hey, I don't care. As long as you could get through that part so you can open up your range. Tip number 3, do not overdo it with the song. And the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. It doesn't have to be super fancy. And I understand that the blockbusters or these rock stars can just hit the notes and do the runs and go, oh, the land of the free, and then just go off. You don't have to do that. Get the song sung and then sit the hell down. Right? Sing it any way you can. So how, can we distract people if our voice isn't that good? Okay? Because number 1, when people listen to you sing the national anthem, they're putting their hands on their heart. They're thinking about their country. They're thinking about their freedom. They're not thinking about you being off key. All right? I have seen some Star-Spangled Banners where the person is off key for most of the whole song. So what? Good for them for singing it. So don't panic about being off key. We all go off key. I've heard some of the best singers go off key. That's just a part of your voice. That's just what happens. It's okay. You could have a bad day. It could be dry. Maybe you didn't wet your whistle. So you don't panic about the off key. But what you can do is you could work on your strengths in the song. So if there's something you think you can do that you want to add to it, you could add to it. Try to just sing the song because I really think a lot of people ruin the song. But if you're like, look, I don't think it'll sound good, but I could do a little run or I could go up in a note and make it work, well, then try that. So we're going to start low, right? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we've hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Now, let's say you don't want to go low. You're like, look, that low note didn't work for me. Well, then you don't have to. So gallantly streaming. Then go up. You don't have to go low. You could change it. You're still saying the words as long as you get the words right. All right? So We're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Now, let's say you don't want the low. Let's say you're like, the low doesn't work for me, I'd rather go high. Then you could go, proof through the night that our flag was still there. And then you could go high. You don't always have to go through the tune, as long as you don't screw up the words and you don't overdo it. Let's say you want to show off a little bit. You want to make it a little powerful, all right? And the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night. You could, if you can do some runs, you could do it. I wouldn't overdo it. I think it could kind of ruin the song. But if you feel like you want to show there are some aspects to your singing repertoire, why not? That the flag was still there. Now, let's say you can't hold a note too long. Don't. But sometimes you could hold a note in the lower range than the higher. Then that's when you hold the note. If you think you can't do the land of the free, if you don't think you can hold that note high, you don't have to hold that note high. You could hold some of the other notes. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. And you're done. But for those of you that want to kind of make it a little bit more fancy, you could go, oh, the land of the free. You could go into a falsetto. Some of you want to maybe not concentrate on the falsetto. Oh, the land of the free. Not my favorite, but it's something you could do if you feel like you want to do something there. Personally, I like the shorter, the sweeter, the better. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Now, this is the final tip. With the home of the brave, it doesn't sound like you completed one hell of a musical performance because of the way the song ends. Kind of seems a little anticlimactic. Well, a lot of people will add to the ending. And so, oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. And I've heard some people go, America, my home. You could add something like that. Or the land of the free and the home of the brave, the brave, the brave. You could add a little bit something like that, if you wanted to. But one reason why that might be advantageous, if you don't think you nailed the song, is what happens after the national anthem. People are clapping. And if you need that clap, if you need that motivation, if you need that mojo, that might help propel you to one hell of an amazing ending of the song, right? Because people are clapping, right? Because it's the end of the song, and they're not expecting you to keep singing, and they're probably not even listening. So it's a freebie. So, oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave, America, my home. And then they'll clap even louder, cut you off, cover up any discrepancies you might have had in your singing, and you nailed it. So honestly, with the Star-Spangled Banner, you could make it work, and you could have a voice like mine, which isn't that good. Again, start low. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, but so proudly we've hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there, still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, the brave, the brave. Not the best, but honestly, you got the job done, right? Yeah, I gotta tell you guys, I love our country, and it's not the easiest song, and you don't have to be like some of the most amazing, amazing singers that have come before you or I to sing this song and knock it out of the ballpark. And remember, you are not singing at the Super Bowl. Right? You are singing for your family for your friends. And when you sing the Star-Spangled Banner, it's not because you're trying to get a record contract. You're singing the Star-Spangled Banner because you want to show your love for the country. You want to show that you are loyal, that you appreciate all who have sacrificed for you and sacrificed for this country, and you are very grateful to be an American. That's what the song is about. So enjoy it. And you know what? If you sing off key, it's still endearing. God bless America.